already halfway through the season once the checkered flag falls in tonight's Richmond 200 at the Richmond International Raceway. That means we'll only have 3 races to go in the regular season championship hunt as well. We do have a pretty big lead, just over 1 full race worth of points ahead, so looking to continue that on here this evening. We will be starting dead last in this race with no practice, no qualifying, trying to make it tough on ourselves here as we close out the regular season. In the first 9 races, we've won 7 of them. We've only finished outside the top 10 once, which was that race at Atlanta where we had the pit road glitch and ended up DNFing because of it, finishing 27th. Finished 10th at Texas, and every other race we've won 7 out of the 9. So looking to continue the hot streak that we've been on pretty much since the start of the season. We did win last night at Bristol, led 195 of 250 laps in that race. Only 2 trucks finished on the lead lap. And biggest story of the season so far, we have been caution-free for 4 straight races. That's back-to-back 100% races and then also back-to-back 50% races. We have not had a caution since the middle of the Atlanta race 5 races ago. So we'll see if we can go caution-free. Subscribe for more NASCAR content like this. Every day, we've got some sort of NASCAR content on the channel for the most part. And here we go. Might do a NASCAR 08 stream at some point this weekend. Not sure on what day. It could be tomorrow. It could be Sunday. Definitely not going to be on Saturday with doing 2 live commentary streams that day. But be on the lookout for that. I'm not going to have it in the community tab schedule because it's going to be kind of a spur-of-the-moment thing. But there will be something. There's a good chance it'll probably be tomorrow after the truck race, if I had to guess. As long as the truck race doesn't go too long. There's no lights at Watkins Glen, so I'd imagine they can't go too late into the evening. Wade, Ethan Chewett, thanks for tuning in. Good start already for Johnny Benson. 2 laps into the race, 8 positions gained. Richmond's one of my better tracks on the EA games, so I would imagine I could dominate this one. Dominated Bristol yesterday, so hoping for more of the same. Shahir Gaming and Entertainment, thanks for tuning in. NASCAR YouTubers reacting to NASCAR 25. Yeah, don't expect any of that on this channel. I will say, I don't do any video formats when it comes to NASCAR gaming. It's live stream only. The only videos I upload are basically either from the racetrack itself or edits made from the live stream on the live commentary side. If I did more videos, I wouldn't be streaming as often, and I really like streaming. So I know how long it takes to edit stuff the way I want to do it with working, 40 to 60 hours a week through the summer. A lot of the time, I just don't have time to do all that. Over the last week or 2 on the channel, I know I want to get the chase done, obviously, to kind of get all the seasons caught up at once. But I just haven't had the time in the day to be able to do that. Good probability that I'll end up doing the next chase race at Martinsville on Monday. But then it probably won't be until the following weekend on Sunday before I get to Atlanta, since there will be a Saturday night race at Richmond. It'll give me all day Sunday and Monday to be able to do 2 more chase races then for the Cup Series. Probably end up finishing the chase season same time we'll end up finishing this truck season. Then we'll have only the Busch and Cup Custom schedule seasons to finish out before NASCAR 25 gets here. Going to Atlanta? Who, me? That's a little confusing. They're not racing at Atlanta, so. No. I'd like to go back there again sometime. Maybe next year I'll end up hitting up Atlanta. Especially moving to North Carolina, it's not going to be that far of a drive for me to get to Atlanta, Georgia. The first year I moved there, I'm probably not going to go to too many more races, but I will definitely try to get to more of the local ones. Obviously, the 2 Charlotte races that would be very close to me. I might hit up North Wilkesboro. That's not going to be very far. And then a couple other races. But the seasons after that, I would probably plan on going to well more than that. Yeah, Atlanta's fastly turning into one of my favorite racetracks. They're in Kansas. They just can't put on a bad race with the next-gen car. Bristol will always and forever be my #1, but with how the next-gen car is on the short tracks, it's really hard for me to like modern-day Bristol as much as I did, you know, growing up. Or any short track for that matter, because I've always been a fan of the short tracks. Especially Bristol and Martinsville. And even the regular super speedway racing isn't what it used to be with the next-gen car either. So I can't even say I necessarily like a normal Daytona or Talladega race as much as what I do in Atlanta race, because Atlanta reminds me of the old super speedway stuff. More than... Atlanta is more Daytona and Talladega nowadays than what Daytona and Talladega actually are. At least for the Cup side. Well, we're ripping through the field already after starting dead last with no practice and no qualifying. We're going for 3rd place in turns 1 and 2. I don't think I made contact with a single truck getting through the field. And here we are, lap 17, up to 3rd. Only 3 drivers are locked into the Truck Series playoffs, so we got 7 spots opened up. And again, only 3 regular season races left after tonight. I didn't get the points tallied up from yesterday, so I'll definitely make sure to have all the points and stuff tallied up so we know where we're at for the regular season title going into the next race. Yeah, the new game is going to be a lot of fun. How many of you guys in the chat watching right now, when you get NASCAR 25, is it going to be for Xbox or is it going to be for PlayStation? I'm curious to know, because when I do online lobbies, I have a PlayStation. So if you don't have a PlayStation, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to play in the online lobbies. I don't think that those are going to be cross-compatible. Unless you guys know more than me and they will be, then bonus, but I'm not going to buy a new next-gen console just for online lobbies. I don't think that that's a wise investment on my behalf. Sorry. PS5 and Xbox. Oh, wow, you're going all in. There's some people that have both, but I don't, and I'm not. I just got a PS5 like late last year, so I'm definitely not getting another new console anytime soon. Between that, my other console that I have is my PS2 that I'm currently using for what you're watching right now. That's my second console. Cross-compatible. Oh, you're hoping that they can't. Okay. Xbox guy. Yeah, there's a lot of people that watch the channel that I found out over the years that you guys are more Xbox people than PlayStation. I've always been PlayStation. I think a lot of that was having a PSP when I was younger. So I've always been pretty high on Sony really ever since. And that was, you know, late PS2 era into the early PS3 era. And I've just had every PlayStation console since. PS2, PSP era. Those PSP days were cool. I remember when they were like new. I would take it with me to school. I felt like the coolest kid there. It wasn't one of those things where I was playing it every day, but when we would have recess, because I want to say I was in 2nd grade when I got it. we would have recess. Where I live, obviously, we have cold and harsh winters. So there would be days where school wasn't canceled, but it was too cold outside that we basically had to be inside for recess. So that's why I would bring my PSP. I'm like, all right, well, if we're going to be inside for recess, this gives me something to do for a half hour. Ever since I was little, I just never really, like, communicated with a lot of people. Like, I've had a couple of friends here and there, like, my whole life, and that's been about it. I'm not a huge people person, so that was my way to escape from reality, even at a young age. I was always the quiet kid growing up, which is very odd even for me to tell people, because once they find out that I have a YouTube channel, it's like they don't even understand. But if you were around my whereabouts on a day-to-day basis, like if you worked with me or something, you would probably know that I don't talk to anybody. I very rarely talk to somebody while I'm at work. It's more they come up and approach me and ask me something, and then that leads into a conversation for a couple minutes, more than it is me going out of my way to just try to break the ice with somebody. I just don't do it. So I get my my conversations, I guess, if you will, out of the day, out of these live streams. Which isn't the same, but I'm not a very talkative person, so I get my talking fix out of this hour to 90 minutes a day. Oh, looking at the chat in the middle of the corner, I used all the apron there. Already pulling away with the lead, 1.5 seconds ahead. Clearly the fastest truck. If you have to see if this is going to be a 1 or 2 stop race. From when I ran Richmond in the first season, I thought I remembered this being a 2-stopper. Which, if it is, we do have 2 sets of tires, so that's not going to be a problem for us. If we have to pit twice, we have to pit twice. Our tire wear at Bristol yesterday was pretty high. I had to nurse the tires on both runs to be able to make it on 1 stop. Hopefully I don't have to do that here, because that was a handful just to try to keep from wrecking yesterday when we got to the back half of the run, especially when we were in the final 20 to 30 laps of the tire stints. I had some sketchy moments. Good news is we have a lot of clean air right now. It's going to be a while before we catch a lap traffic, if we catch them before the first stop. Elementary school always had you mean VCR? I'm assuming you mean VCR. I don't know what VRC is, I'm not going to lie. Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, sometimes I'd throw a movie on the inside recess days when I was in elementary school. They had things in there for us to do, like they had board games and stuff. So when I got into about 3rd grade or so, one of the kids that I was friends with more through like the elementary years, that's where I first learned to play chess, because he was doing a bunch of like chess tournaments and stuff. So he was really good at it, so he was kind of teaching me. And now I can school people in chess. I haven't played in a minute. I used to play online a lot, which was always tough because you'd be going against other people that were pretty good, because I feel like the only people that really play chess online against other people are very skilled at their craft, so I had to get good. It's one of those things, like, if you don't play very often or you haven't played in a while, there's no chance I'm losing to you, but if I'm going up against another skilled person, considering especially I haven't played in a minute, I'd probably end up losing right off the rip. I'd have to get a couple games in me first. But that's how I bypass the time on planes a lot, actually, is chess, especially if I'm on one of those planes that have, like, the... I don't even know what to call it. It's almost like a tablet, like on the back seat of the seat in front of you. I flew home with Delta the last time I was on a flight, which was coming back from Phoenix a few years ago. Well, I guess it wasn't the last time I was on a flight. The last time for a NASCAR race, but coming home I was on a Delta flight, and I bypassed my 4-hour flight off of that. Just playing chess the whole time. and talking in person too. Yeah, I just I don't know. I mean, I've obviously always been introverted for sure. Especially now that I'm like older. And really ever since I started the YouTube channel, I can break out of my shell a lot easier now without necessarily feeling any sort of anxiety or anything like that when I talk to people. I would say there's a lot less social anxiety for myself now than what there was when I was younger, but I still just, it's almost like I'm good. I just don't have the need to talk to people. But if you ever see me at the racetrack or something, you want to talk NASCAR for a couple minutes, I'm all ears. That's a lot that has to do with it too. I just haven't really met many people in my life that like a lot of the same things that I do. Like pretty much the only person that I would consider a friend that I really talk to nowadays. We both love pro wrestling, so we're always talking wrestling with each other. We're texting each other during like Raws and SmackDowns every week, so go to shows once in a while. So I went to Monday Night Raw with him and his wife a couple weeks ago when they were in Detroit. So kind of find these like niche things. I'm convinced myself, or I have convinced myself at this point, I don't think I'm gonna find somebody in my life that likes multiple of the same things that I like. It's usually one thing. Like I'll find somebody that listens to the same music I do, but there's no crossover. Like they know nothing of racing or anything of that nature. Or when I raced growing up, obviously there were a lot of kids that were around my age that I was racing against. And we would talk like racing, but then they didn't listen to the same music I listened to or anything like that. A lot of country music crossover when it comes to the American auto racing world, especially in the dirt racing world where I ended up growing up, dirt racing all the time. But yeah, I was like the only kid listening to any kind of. Well, I guess like I'm trying to think. I guess later into the years, I was starting to get more into metal. But yeah, I was listening to Metallica in the garage area. And unless like something from the Black Album probably came up, I don't think anybody else knew what any of the songs were. Metal music and racing, there you go. I have noticed too with the YouTube deal, chat with you guys every night, that there is a lot of crossover with pro wrestling that I found with NASCAR. I think a lot of it has to do with NASCAR has been on USA Network for a little while now. And USA Network has SmackDown every single week. It was Monday Night Raw, and then now SmackDown's over there. But they've had wrestling on every week since I was a kid. Monday Night Raw was on USA Network for the longest time. So a lot of crossover with that. And then even when they weren't on USA and they were on Fox for a little bit when I was younger. Then they were on Fox for a few more years again. Recently, before SmackDown moved back to USA Network, of course, NASCAR's on Fox. So there's a lot of crossover with that, with advertisement for one thing or another. And I think that really does have a lot to do with the crossover appeal from pro wrestling to NASCAR racing specifically. CW is another avenue of that. The developmental program for WWE that they air is on the CW every week. I think Tuesday nights. I don't really watch NXT, so I kind of forgot what night it was. It used to be Wednesdays for a while, but I think it's on Tuesday nights now. But anyway, obviously the Xfinity Series is on CW every single week, full time now. So now there's a lot of crossover there. I've noticed some of the Grand Marshals have been pro wrestlers from that NXT part. I think Cole Custer was on an episode of NXT last year. Just kind of cringy, but yeah, there's a lot of crossover. Yeah, just hit halfway out of gas. You're right. I can make this thing a one stop. Be able to go a little bit past lap 100. And no yellow yet. We'll see if we can make it 5 races in a row without a caution. I want to see how far the streak's going to go. I would imagine when we get to a road course, we'll end up having some cautions because we usually get a lot of yellows on the road courses on these EA games. And we have 3 of them, and they're all in the playoffs. 2 fantasy tracks, and then Watkins Glen. Boulder Raceway Park, of course. And then the New York Metro Street Race. A little bit further than that, because it was lap 54. Probably 106 to 107 without running out of gas. It's about how far I could take it. If I can get to lap 107, that's kind of what I'm eyeballing right now. Still might be one of the first to pit at that point. You know, that is curious, or not curious, not the right word. That is pretty intriguing, though, Michael. You had 31 years of NASCAR on Fox by the time that current TV contract ends. And then we'll see from that point if they're part of the renewal process when 2032 rolls around. There's not many sports that stick around with one broadcasting network for that long of a period of time without gaps of going away or coming back. Especially when you consider the fact that the Daytona 500, which is the biggest race of the season, has been on Fox for that many years consecutively, too. Prime broadcast. It's phenomenal this year. I know. I really wish that more people would either take the opportunity to watch the races on Amazon Prime, because there are people that are boycotting that because, oh, I don't want to pay to watch my NASCAR, but yet you're paying for cable to watch the cable. It doesn't make any sense to me. But if you're not able to watch it, like, for instance, my grandparents are old school on my dad's side of the family specifically. They don't have internet, so my grandpa, who was the one that got me into racing when I was younger and stuff, can't watch those races throughout the course of the weekend. So, you know, for him, it sucks. He doesn't really have the avenue to be able to do so. He's too old school to the point where he feels he doesn't need internet, which, I mean, I get it. You're living without it. You really don't know what you're missing, but instances like that, I keep trying to tell him, too. I'm like, there's more than just NASCAR out there. Like, he's a huge racing fanatic, obviously. Watches a lot of dirt racing. There's a lot more avenues to watch dirt racing online than what you can get with regular cable television. I tried to explain that to him. I'm like, it's cheaper. You can drop cable. You can watch all the racing you want to watch. It's all right. Oh, well. Can't say I didn't try. Lee Diffie called the 500 one day. Well, that's probably not going to happen unless NBC gets the rights for the Daytona 500. That's going to be hard to pry away from Fox. I think it's going to have to go down like almost how ESPN ended up dropping IndyCar for all those years, that they wanted to drop IndyCar at the end of the last contract, whatever the last year was that ESPN and ABC had IndyCar coverage, that they wanted the Indianapolis 500, but they didn't really want any other race because they knew that that was a huge marketable, you know, premier sporting event that gets a lot of viewers every year. So they still wanted that, which, my personal opinion, that's just being a cheapskate. That tells me you don't care about racing. You only care about people that want to watch racing. And you don't even necessarily care about those people because obviously with that being the most viewed IndyCar race of the year, they're getting a lot of casual fans that don't necessarily watch racing year-round that are watching the Indy 500. That's all they care about. It's a mighty dollar, so I'm glad that they were able to find a place for a while with NBC that actually took care of their coverage. And Fox has honestly done a pretty good job from what I've heard on their IndyCar marketing and coverage. That you can tell that they actually care about what they're wanting to produce, or at least they act like it. So that's good to see for them. How do I feel about IndyCar? So, like, outside of the Indianapolis 500, I haven't watched a full IndyCar race this season because a lot of them have been overlapping with, you know, NASCAR coverage for one reason or another. I've gone back and rewatched highlights of races throughout the course of the season, but that doesn't really do the justice of, you know, how good or bad the TV coverage is, really, because those are chopped up 10 to 15-minute videos that I'm watching every week, not necessarily a multiple-hour program. So I don't really have an answer for that. '20 season of watching racing. There you go. It's a long time. 2018 was the last year for ABC in the Indy 500. Should celebrate it. Get a cake or something. Like it's your birthday. Hey, what better way to celebrate something than cake or ice cream? So I've always been more of an ice cream person over a cake person. I specifically had to tell my mom not to get me a cake for my birthday this year. I'm like, I'm going to be eating a ton of ice cream that day. I don't want to overdo it with the cake. I'll eat sweets 3 days a year. And one of those days is my birthday. So you bet that I am definitely going to be not wasting my dessert day on any cake. Although, really, when I think about it, I don't remember the last time I had a birthday cake. I really like her pumpkin cheesecake that she makes around Thanksgiving every year. And because we only get it once a year, there was one year specifically where I asked for that over a birthday cake, so I got an extra pumpkin cheesecake day that year. That was pretty good. But that was probably the last time I had a birthday cake, and I don't even remember when that was. It was a while ago. Had a whole room of racing, NASCAR bed, Casey Kane colors, and more. There you go. Casey Kane was your guy then growing up? Just over a 6-second lead. About 20 laps away from halfway already as this thing's clicking by quickly. We saw last night a 250-lap race at Bristol that went caution-free. Was only 64 minutes, barely over an hour. And this race is probably going to be around that same time frame. Laps are an extra 5 seconds here, but we also have 50 less laps than we did yesterday, so it's going to be pretty close. I think it'll be a couple minutes longer, even if this goes caution-free as well. Mom said Indianapolis should have lights. Yeah, I don't think they'll ever do that. It's pretty much, oh, geez, got ran right into my right rear. I mean, it's been can't talk. It's been tradition for a long time to have Indianapolis 500 pretty close to the noon hours, even in recent years. Kind of starts closer to 1 o'clock now, but it's still in that 12 o'clock hour when it starts. I don't think they'll ever think about, putting lights around there for that reason. And with that being their marquee event, they're not going to do it for NASCAR, which only sells about half the tickets that the Indy 500 will, if not less than that. That would be a great business idea. It's one of those things where it'd be cool, to see it once, but then after that, I don't really know. Some traditions just aren't meant to be broken. Most traditions, I'd say, are not meant to be broken, but that's definitely one of them. Plus, if there's any sort of inclement weather, you have the rest of the day to kind of plan out for it to run the next day, rather than if it rains at night, knowing how long it takes to dry that track. Don't really have much of an opportunity to get the race in later in the evening. And you got to figure, too, the Coca-Cola 600 is literally the same time. So if you had lights in the Indianapolis 500, which I didn't even think about, you'd be going on at the same time as the Coke 600, which isn't a great idea either. So, yeah. Fantasyland is one thing, but the reality is that's never going to happen. Case Gateways your driver shared the birthday together. I think I remember you stating that now that you mentioned it again. I remember now. So I'm drifting my way through turns 1 and 2. Ikeka Stewart, thanks for tuning in. Aloha. Ten laps from halfway, still a 6-second lead. Truck just started getting free on me a few laps ago. Should be less than 90 minutes if you're talking about this race. Oh, easily. Both rear tires in the red on my tire wear indicator. I didn't even realize the right rear was that wore out. Not going to have to fight it for as many laps as I did yesterday at Bristol. Thank goodness. Still easier to drive here than what it was at Bristol. On the Boulder race tires as well. Mark DeMars, welcome to the stream. Oh boy. A couple trucks making contact to the outside. We'll lap both of them. 6.5 second lead. Share birthday with Glenn Jarrett. I don't know who that is. Is he a part of the Ned and Dale Jarrett family? Is it racing related or no? Yeah, definitely going to be easy to make it over 100 laps on fuel. Yeah, knowing how the tires are going to get, I think it's going to be kind of the same way it was for me at Bristol yesterday, where if we do catch a caution, I'm going to pit. We never had that yellow yesterday. So we'll see if we end up getting it today or not. So far, that has not been the case. Dale Jarrett's brother. Oh, well, there we go. It was just a wild guess because those are the only people that I ever heard of with the last name Jarrett. Linkin Park still your favorite band? Yeah, they're definitely up there for me. I go through my Linkin Park phase once in a while still. Not as often as I go with the Metallica route, but yeah, they were definitely... I listened to them more through like my childhood, and going back and re-listening to a lot of their older stuff, it still holds up to this day, in my personal opinion. I don't want to say it was ahead of their time because nu metal was popping off there in the early 2000s, but they were... I mean, the sound quality does sound... You hear a lot of similarities with bands nowadays. So they definitely had a huge inspiration on some of the stuff I listened to, that's for sure. Joe Gibbs and Mike Joyce share a birthday. Oh, there you go. The more you know. Drift my way through 3 and 4. Lap 104. Got some trucks on pit road. I'm going to take it to lap 107. That was my plan before, and I'm sticking to it. I think I'm going to put a half around a wedge into the race truck to try to tighten it up for the long run a bit, because I've definitely been sliding around a lot the later this race goes. Quite a few trucks in the pits. Lap 106. We do have a 1 lap lead on the field. There are a ton of trucks in there right now. Get in front of Chad McCumbee. Well, that didn't matter much. Right around us anyway. All right, lap 107. We're going to pit this time. There are so many trucks backed up. Mike Skinner looked like he was stalling everybody out at the exit of pit road. Oh, they're all stopped. I got to pit this time. I'm out of gas. They're all stopped. Oh, I'm scared. I have to pit, though. I took it as far as I could because they're not going anywhere. I really hope we don't have another Atlanta glitch. Gonna put the half around a wedge into it. 4 tires, full tank of Sunoco race fuel. I'm scared. I really hope they get moving up there. There are only a couple of cars on the racetrack right now, too. We never had this issue, ever. And I've been playing this game on the channel since, gosh, when did we end NASCAR 07? It was right before the start of the season, I think. So since probably February we've been playing NASCAR 08. We've only had this issue one time. Okay, so there are trucks that are slowly getting by on the bottom. I'm hoping they clear out of there before... Oh, now the 101 stopped. I just hope I can get through it. Completed our stop. All right, go. 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 No! Guys, move! Move! Go! Go! I've probably lost so much time. Oh, thank God. I'm in second. Oh, we're way off the lead. I'm 15 seconds back. Well, the good news is I'm still on the lead lap, but the bad news is I'm 16 and a half seconds off the lead. Is that going to cost me a win? At least we have a chance still. There's still a lot of trucks that are down there. It was close. Well, I have the fastest truck in the field. Can we run down Chad McCumbee, who is 16 seconds ahead? We've got 91 to go. This will make things fun, I guess, for you guys. McCumbee trying to get his first win of the season. This would lock him into the playoffs. So he is going to do whatever it takes to stay out in front. After we dominated the first half of the race. We're in second, so he's the only driver we have to pass. We're the only 2 trucks in the lead lap. Hull in third place is 2 laps down. So McCumbee must have been one of the first trucks to pit road for him to not be in that. He had to be probably the very first truck on and off of pit road. And that worked wonders for him. And we still got a couple of trucks that are waiting to leave the pits. Why do they just stop there? They stop for a few laps and then they leave. Like, they're gone now. So weird. Oh, a lot of them DNF'd. Look at how many trucks are out of the race. Just ran my fastest lap, by the way. I put a half around a wedge into it, so that was the right way to go, because I just ran my quickest lap. McCumbee won Atlanta. No, he did not. Spencer Claiborne won. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Chad McCumbee did win Atlanta. My bad. Claiborne ended up winning at Texas. That's what it was. I forgot about McCumbee winning a race, so never mind. Yeah, we're pretty much locked into either me or him are going to win this race. I'm not really gaining any time. I picked up 1 second on him in 5 laps. I don't know. I mean, that's only 0.2 quicker a lap. I just ran my fastest lap of the race twice in the last 3 laps, including the last lap, the quickest, 20.23. We're going to need a caution. And there's not a lot of trucks on the racetrack either, so I don't think we're going to catch a yellow. Man, this sucks. We've got time. We haven't had a caution in 4 races. It would be 5 full races. Well, 3 full races and 2 50% races, which equates to 4 full races. Try to back the corner entry speed up a little bit more so I can have more straightaway speed. See if that's going to help me try to gain time at all. A little bit quicker. He's got some lap traffic in front of him that is kind of helping me. We've got a lot of clean air. I'll tell you what, it's probably going to take every bit of the entire rest of the race just to get close to him. I don't see us catching a caution. I just don't think we have enough trucks on the racetrack. Really going to be showing the horsepower in this race truck. Back in the middle, the corner's up a little bit more. It should save my tires. Plus, making the wedge adjustment, I would imagine, is going to help me not be as loose at the end of this run. Definitely going to sit. What a crazy situation. So, like I said, it costed us the lead. But the fact that we're still in second place after all that, I'll take that. Because Atlanta, when it happened, I DNF'd. I was one of those few that were stuck on pit road. It couldn't go anywhere. That's probably going to shake up the regular season standings quite a bit. There's a lot of top dogs that don't have a win this season that are above the cut line that were a part of the DNFs. I saw Eric Darnell. Mike Skinner's in 30th. I think that's his 3rd DNF already. These first 10 races. The first 2, and now has another one today. 18th on back, all DNF. That's insane. That's half the field. Half the field is out of the race. It's the most DNFs we've seen all season by far. That'll be tough to beat. If we catch a caution, I'm definitely pitting. 2 trucks on the lead lap, just like we had yesterday at Bristol. The only difference is I'm the one that's in second, but we have 1 set of tires left. We're gaining time, just I don't think we're gaining it quick enough. Not over till it's over. That is true. We must fight on. It is John Cena's final season in, or final year in professional wrestling. So, as John Cena says, never give up. We're not going to give up. I mean, if you've watched the channel, even over the last week, we had to come from insurmountable odds at Texas. And although we never caught a caution, we still finished 10th. I was fighting so hard for that top 10. And it was well earned. It was a grinded out 10th place day. This is probably going to be a grinded out runner-up if I don't get to the race win. But I'm giving it my all. And again, we've cut into the deficit. We were 16 seconds off the lead, and now we're just under 13 seconds back. That's over the course of about 22 laps. I've picked up 3 seconds. Big gain that lap. Back in the corners up to get that straightaway speed is definitely helping. I haven't figured out the perfect spot that I'm gaining the absolute most. It does seem like I gain more in turns 1 and 2 than I do in 3 and 4. I almost kind of give some of that time back up through 3 and 4. There we go. I think I got to be a little bit quicker through 3 and 4 and then just not carry as much speed through 1 and 2. Just so I don't give up more than I'm gaining. And I think that's where I can maybe master picking up time at a quicker rate. I hope. Worth a try. We're down to 11 seconds off the lead. We're getting there. You can bet I'm going to use the bumper if I get to him in the closing laps, if I need it. The gloves will be off. Without that issue, I think we were easily going to win this race. I want to make damn sure all the laps we led, we're going to be able to win this race still. If he leads most of the laps out to the finish because of how long it took me to get to the lead after starting dead last, I believe McCumbie's going to actually lead the most laps in this race, which, because we're using the current playoff format, laps led isn't really going to do anything bonus point-wise. Comment in the chat. Do you guys think I'm going to end up catching him? Yes or no? We get by these next two trucks, there really isn't that many lap trucks between us anymore. I can get to them before the end. Still win the race, I have faith. Well, at least you guys are pulling for me. Glad to know I got a lot of fans out there. Oh yeah, caution, I guarantee I'm going to win the race because I'll be taking on fresh tires and he's going to stay out. But I don't think we're going to catch caution. We just don't have that many trucks left in the race. We only have 17 of them on the racetrack. And they're all spaced out for the most part. Just under 10 seconds off the lead. Or what the fans got to be thinking with the pit road glitch that was going on. 9.5. My deficit isn't even cut down to half from what it was. Lap 107. We get to about lap 153, 154. If I'm not 8 seconds off the lead, our pace is not there. I mean, it's close. The pace that I have right now, we can get to within 1.5 seconds of him, but most of the traffic that he passed, we're going to have to get by those guys as well, and he doesn't have much more traffic in front of him, so I almost wonder if he gets by these last few trucks. What is that going to look like for us the rest of the race then? One more pit stop. No, we're going to be good to the end on fuel. I'm only pitting if we catch a caution. Nine seconds. Two trucks is basically what it is right now, considering that third place is 2 laps down. We need 2 cautions for the third place truck to get 2 free passes to get back on the lead lap. 8.5. Almost 8.5. And our pace is close. $50 laps is not a lot of time at Richmond either. Any short track for that matter. It goes green to the end. We're running out of laps. Just to being able to get there. It's going to suck if I get to within 1 second knowing that I'm only a couple laps shy of being able to get to the win, because I feel like that's my pace right now. I mean, if we're going to get him, we're going to get him right at the finish. Unless his tires fall off more rapidly than mine. The way I'm racing the truck right now, or driving the truck, I am trying to conserve my tires while trying to catch him. Like, I'm running 1 second off of my fastest time. while still picking up time on him. I could push a little harder, but I know how bad the truck was handling on the last run for about the last 20 laps because my tires were going bald. And if I get to that point, I'm not going to be able to press the issue and actually pick up time in those final 20. And I'm going to need those final 20 laps to try to run him down. Dean Tate, thanks for tuning in. Down into the yellow on the tire wear indicator. I feel like I'm not really closing in on him anymore. He might have got by the last of the lap trucks, too. Come on, 8 seconds. Be nice if somebody blew an engine right in front of him and stalled him up that way too. That'd be perfect. Yeah, I think we're getting 5 races in a row without a caution. This will be the 5th. Just under 7.5. 16 seconds. I couldn't be 13 seconds off the lead. Like, even that I would have been able to overcome. 16 might be just a little bit too much. It was my teammate that started it. It was Mike Skinner that caused that first stack up on pit road. It could have been worse. Like I said, we could have been one of the 19 trucks out of the race. Down in the 6s. 40 laps left. Six and a half. Just now hit halfway out of gas. Plenty good to the end. At least 10 laps to the good. Kind of washed up the racetrack just a little bit there. I noticed I can feel the rear tires starting to slide a little bit more if I try to get back into the gas just a little bit too soon. It cost me a little bit of time. Washing up the track a little bit quicker. I was down to 6.1 off the lead. Only picked up about a 10th that last lap. Before that, I was averaging about 0.2 quicker a lap. I'm not convinced I'm going to catch him until I get to within a second of him. And then at that point, we'll see how many laps we have left. Because it'll probably take me a few more at that point to get to him. See, we still got quite a few lap trucks we're going to have to pass that are inside the top 10, so they're going to be competitive trucks that he's already in front of. Just under 6 seconds back. Come on. Almost got down to 5.5 getting into turn 1. Setting ourselves up for a wild one here at Richmond. Good thing we've got the truck capable of being able to pull this off. Had I not had the fastest truck in the field, no chance I was going to be able to overcome this deficit. But, like, if it was a 1.5-mile racetrack, no chance, because I seem to not have that kind of speed on a couple of them that we've raced so far. The 2 races I haven't won, I didn't have the race winning speed. I didn't crack the top 10 on the last one at Texas until the very last lap of the race, and that was because somebody blew an engine coming to the white. It's the only lap I ran in the top 10 to finish 10th. I'll tell you what, I haven't looked up at the intervals on a lap-to-lap basis like this in a long time. Not for this long of a period. Like, I've been looking up at the interval between myself and the leader ever since we got to about 13 seconds off the lead. I'm looking up there almost every straightaway. And where's it at now? Where's it at now? Just trying to pace myself well enough so I still have something left in the truck when we get there. Tire management. I mean, that's basically what it boils down to, is can I run a fast enough pace while managing my tires still to the end, because we have had high tire fall off in this race. And so far, I think I'm doing a good job of it. 30 to go. 30 to go. We're 4.5 seconds back entering turn 1. We got a lot of lap trucks around us. I don't think our lap times are going to be as quick these next couple of laps, but we got by all of them pretty easily. TJ Bell taking a peek to the outside. We'll get by. 29 to go. Too much of the apron there. I lost time. I notice if I get all 4 tires down in the apron, I actually lose time in the corners. Even if it doesn't feel like the truck is necessarily imbalanced. Under 4. Right front into the yellow on the tire wear indicator. About 3.5. Crew chief said 4.5. I don't think he knows how to count. I'd imagine he's going to be catching more lap traffic before the end of the race. Oh, we've got trouble, but no caution. Turns 3 and 4. That must have been behind McCumbee. I don't know. He lost a lot of time that lap. We're only 2.5 seconds back. I think it was in front of him, and he had to check up. That buys us a little bit more time. We're less than 3 seconds off the lead. Smoke still the same from before, still dissipating yet. So close. Keep doing what I'm doing. Just gotta hope the tires don't go bald. $20 to go. Next time by. About 2 seconds off the lead. A little more than that. The company's got quite a few trucks in front of him. grind that this was. This whole run. Yeah, under 2. He's somewhere in the middle of all this lap traffic, I do believe. I think I see him up there. I think he's got 2 trucks between us. He's underneath another one. Here's Johnny. 18 to go. Cue the Jaws music. Can you imagine him getting told like 80 laps ago? He's like, hey, you got a 16-second lead. Cool. Hey, just to let you know, your lead's only about 1.3 right now. How many laps are there? Can't go by quick enough. $16 to go. Just over a second off the lead. 4 lap trucks, about to be 5 between the top 2. That'll buy McCumbee a little bit of time. $15 laps left. Got by our first truck. Right there. Oh, I had a bit of a slide getting off turn 2. I was just trying to pinch my truck to the bottom, not making contact with the truck to the outside. Didn't slide him too badly. Half a second back. 12 to go. He's got no more lap trucks in front of him, though, so he's back in the clean air again. They're side by side right in front of me. I don't like that. All right, boys, you're multiple laps down. Get out of my way. Here we go. Just going to protect the bottom. Back up the entry through Duraport. Got to run. He's pinching us. 10 to go. Oh, he drove it in really deep there. Run him up the hill. That was a clean pass. 10 to go. To the lead. Johnny Benson from 16 seconds back ran down Chad McCumbee. It took almost the whole length of the run, but we got him. It took us about 85, 86 laps. Well, it was lap 107 when we pitted, so 108 when we cycled out. My goodness. Yeah, it took 106 laps to get to the lead. Or sorry, that's bad math. It took us 86 laps to get to the lead. Not 106, my bad. It was 20 off. 86 laps. Now the right rear's bald. Yeah, so I'm glad I got to the lead when I did, because now my right rear is cooking. Which, it was for about 20 laps at the end of the run, so I definitely saved my tires more than I did. Got a half a second lead with 7 to go. Credit to the team for giving me my fast equipment this race. 6 laps left. I'd like to think I can manage now. Oh man, that was a big wiggle trying to stand on the gas. Oh wow, I did clinch the most laps led. 5 to go. I'm surprised. I thought he would have led enough. I didn't think I led that many laps in the race. He must not have led any earlier then, before we got to the lead the first time. I know Quapple led a lot early in the race. He's probably the only other driver to have laps led other than me and McCumbee. Come on, keep the truck under us. 3 to go. It's slipping. I've definitely gotten way closer to the wall off the exit of the corners than what I was for a lot of that run. I just can't hook the bottom like I was. I did put a half around a wedge into the truck during the only pit stop as well. We'll tighten it up for when we did get to this moment. Probably another reason why I can't necessarily wrap that yellow line through the center of the corner. He had a 0.6 of a second lead though. Final lap of the race. He's far enough back. I don't think I have to worry about him cheap shotting us in the final corner. Austin Dillon style. Johnny Benson, a winner at Richmond. Let's go. From 16 seconds back. We had to fight for that one, but we got it. We got it. Yeah. All right. Go through the race results. We led 94 laps. McCumbee led for 83. We had a 0.7 of a second margin of victory. 1 hour, 11 minutes, 22 seconds. This race only 7 minutes longer than yesterday's at Bristol, which also went caution-free. 5 straight caution-free truck races. Unbelievable. How much longer can we keep this streak going? Our next race is Dover, then Darlington, and Homestead are the final races of the regular season. And then we get to the playoffs, which are Michigan, Watkins Glen. If we somehow go the next 4 without a caution, we're definitely going to catch a lot of yellows there. And yeah, we got the 3 straight road races with Watkins Glen, New York, and Boulder Raceway Park. Then we go to Martinsville, California. We end the season at Charlotte, which I did not win in the Truck Series the first go-around. So, all right, well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. 94 laps led gets us just over 800 laps led through the first 10 races of the season. And on to the next one. Again, Dover. Not exactly sure when we're going to run that. I would hope sometime during the weekend, even with the live commentary streaming schedule, but I'm not going to put it in the community tab. If anything, if I do put a community tab post out as to when I'm doing that race, it's going to be just kind of a heads up that, hey, I'm going live like soon. So you can be on the lookout for that. Make sure to hit the notification icon so you don't miss that live stream. And well, I can guarantee you the next live stream that we do will be live commentary for the truck race tomorrow at Watkins Glen. 5 p.m. Eastern start for that one. Hope to see you for the next live commentary stream on the channel. Have a good rest of your Thursday, everybody. See you tomorrow afternoon. We're less than 22 hours away from NASCAR at the Glen.